Sorry, guys. Sorry, I was muted there, so I was talking to myself. Welcome, everybody. Your Fielder's Choice YFC at DFS MLB pre-lock live. That was a lot to say. I got Corey Hammond with me today as my special guest host. It's always great to have Corey on, give us some background knowledge of MLB. What's up, my man?
Not much. How you guys doing?
So, been kind of a tough week, really. It's just, I don't know. I think I've been getting a little bit too cute with some of my plays, overthinking stuff. But 14 game slate today. Big slate. We got a lot to go over. But first of all, anybody that's new watching this, remember $35 for 6 months subscription. You can't beat that price anywhere. All sports included. Just like we just had this AFL Australian Rules Football article is going to be posted. Sports like that, KBO, all that kind of stuff. We kind of pride ourselves on the small sports. But still, MLB is our flagship. It's always been since our old days at Daily Fantasy Solutions, and we do well. So we got to have a good weekend here. I start a weekend. It's a Coors weekend. Finally got some weather that's decent. It looks like. Let me just pull the weather up quicker. I don't think there's any bad spots. The last I looked, Boston's a nice spot for baseball tonight. Wind's blowing out 15 miles an hour early. Just slow down as the night goes on now. So it's good hitters game. You see Minnesota. Okay, the rain's cleared in Minnesota, but there's supposed to be rain after the game. I kind of like that Pittsburgh Minnesota game too as a sneaky game. In Colorado, heavy rain should be gone before the first pitch. Everybody's interested in Colorado, of course. So nothing major, nothing to worry about. So let's get right into the pitching, and it's different from what we've been dealing with the last week or so. We either have like one ace and then a bunch of garbage, or it's a bunch of garbage. Tonight we have a bunch of guys going, a bunch of aces going, and this is what it usually is at the beginning of the season until we get some rainouts and guys get kind of moved along a little bit. And right now, I think first of all it's Jacob DeGrom, right? I mean, everybody you got a lot of Jacob DeGrom in your lineup, FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah, 90% owned or higher. I mean, he's got unbelievable numbers again this year. It's you'd be an idiot not to play him. I mean, you could GPP, you could definitely fade him if you want, but I mean, he's still. I mean, what does he have? 3 walks, 45 strikeouts, I mean, like a .4 ERA. He like leads every category. It's like it's a shoe in that he's going to have 15 punch outs a game every night almost.
Yeah, I mean, I was even going to play him in Coors today when it was raining. I mean, if the game went on, he's the type of guy, he's a monster. You play him everywhere. So you just lock him in. FanDuel, play him. DK, he's your SP1. The big question to me is going to be, when I first started researching this slate, I assumed it was going to be a DeGrom medium size, medium price pitcher. And then the more lineups started coming out, there's a lot of value tonight. So I guess first of all, just to get these other guys out of their way, we got some elite guys. I mean, we got you, Darvish against Kershaw last Friday night or Saturday night. Both of those guys combined for like 60, 70 fantasy points. So it's a DeGrom slate, so they're more of a GPP play. Man, I mean, what we saw both those guys that last game. I mean, type of guys, they were winning people GPPs. But people, ask, are you going to play Kershaw or Darvish? To me, it's more of a GPP play because of DeGrom. Who else is up there? And Tyler Glasnow. And Glasnow. Yep. That's like your elite guys. And then you have a little bit of a bump down to guys like Sonny Gray, Greinke, who I guess is still considered mid-range. Guys like Andrew Haney, who can be good. Guys like that. Sandy Alcantara, who actually was going to be my SP2 until I started seeing some of his value. So how do you feel about Glasnow at 10-1, $800 cheaper than DeGrom, running him your SP2, or going with somebody else like an Alex Wood, or I think you liked him, or Alcantara, who I like as your SP2?
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I were talking about before. I mean, if there's not the value on the slate, I think you got to find an SP2 that's cheaper. But, then you just said it. Like if you, Darvish, and Clayton Kershaw combined for 67 points last week, they're almost guaranteed. Like a Glasnow is another guy's guaranteed to have probably 10 punch outs. I'd take the guarantee over a hitter that might, in cores go 0 for 4 with 4 punch outs. I mean, it's a risk reward for either one of them, but, the pitcher's going to last longer in the game. I mean, I think they're and Glasnow's having another really good year that, you can fade a big bat and get, two elite pitchers. And then we found a lot of value. Like you said, there's a lot on the market that you can make up for it. So if a value guy only gets you 3 or 4 points, but you're getting an extra 10 points out of a pitcher, it's like getting, a triple out of, Tapia or Blackman or whatever it may be, whoever you got. So, harder to hit a baseball than it is to throw it. So for me, I mean, I like the pitcher right now. I mean, you brought it up to me. I did have, I think I had Wood in there first, but if you can fit them both in there, I mean, the numbers alone. I mean, if you're going to get 25 punch outs between two guys, I mean, that's a lot of points. So, yeah, like I think Glasnow's definitely the one. I mean, you can fit them both in there too. We actually have a lineup right now that has them both in there, so it's doable.
Yeah, and there's enough value tonight, and actually value in good spots in the order and
Mm-hmm.
matchup. So I think we can do it.
Yep.
Glasnow's going against Toronto. He's got that slider. He's got that curve, which Toronto actually struggles against the slider. He's got actually a decent history against the Toronto batting order tonight, which is good. So I think you try to run them both out.
Yep.
Looking on our cheat sheet has been updated. Devin just did that a few minutes ago, and the cheat sheet is showing Glasnow and DeGrom as your top two. Beside that, then you go down to like an Alex Wood or an Alcantara. GPPs, I do like Alcantara's spot today. His price actually dropped to 7.4. He's got the third best ERA in major leagues. So I still think he's a solid enough SP2 if you want to run it that way and you want to go for one more Coors bat to get maybe like a Blackman and a Harper in or something like that, which you can do. Go ahead. I mean, you can still do that. Mike
Mm-hmm.
Minor's in a good spot against Detroit. They struggle against lefties. Anybody else? Noah, Atlanta, beside that one blow up at Chicago, he's had a pretty decent season.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at Casey Mize last week a little bit. I mean, he's not going to strike out a whole lot of guys, but he's going to be consistent. He's going to get you 5 innings, 6 innings, but it all depends on his strikeout. He's a GPP only, though. I wouldn't look at him any other way. But I don't even know what he's priced at because I didn't even look at him.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Mize. We've talked about him a lot. He's gonna be a stud. He's gonna get
Yeah,
strikeouts, but then he hasn't put it all together yet. So
yeah,
GBP, hey, run him out to GBP.
yeah, and he won't get a win possibly because Detroit's not very good. So I mean, you
True.
can lose some points on the on the winning side. So
My sneaky GBP play is actually running Marquez out there for Colorado. I mean, he's got a decent history in Colorado. He pitches better in Colorado. The Philly lineup really, beside Harper, the lefty, doesn't really scare me. They're going to be probably popular in cash, but if you're running GBPs, running multi entries, run Marquez out there. We've seen
mm-hmm.
what Gray's done already in a game in Coors this season, so we've seen what he's done, in his career. So I mean, you can definitely run Marquez out there. You got your Brad Miller, Mickey Moniak's. The only lefties in a lap today: Harper, Miller, and Mickey Moniak. Oh, and Didi. So
Yeah.
there's a few there, but he can definitely, beside Harper. I mean, I can see Marquez having a good game. And you always had that first game at Coors dilemma. Well, a lot of these guys come in, you see it a lot. The first game, they don't hit. They don't start hitting until the first,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the second, third game to Saturday and Sunday. So don't sleep on Marquez. Actually, he pitched against the Mets at home this year at 27 DK points.
Mm-hmm.
Pitched against Arizona at 13, and then another one's the Dodgers. So just another name to throw out there. Let's go around. Let's go around the bases.
Yep.
Talking cash, starting at catcher. We'll want to look at ownership first. Whoa, so some of the owners, Tommy Murphy, who I do like in Seattle, Murphy's actually carrying right now like 25% ownership on DK. So if you want to go to the ownership route, the cash route is Tom Murphy, and I actually agree with that. I do like Murphy. Kind of agree with that call. He's crushed lefties in his career. He gets Perez, who's definitely a lefty you can hit
Mm-hmm.
in Boston. 341 ISO, 430 WOBA, but decent numbers. So, yeah, Murphy's your value. Going to be popular.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like anybody in the any pay up guys?
I mean, I like before you were even talking about it. I mean, obviously Ray Alamuto is going to be popular because he's in Colorado, but Marquez's numbers are pretty good against, at home, like we just talked about. So, I mean, there's nobody jumping out. I mean, catcher's always a hard one for me to really want to pay up personally. I mean, Gary Sanchez will pop up again. I mean, like he's a cash play at 6%, though. In DraftKings, I hate Gary Sanchez. I don't care who he is, what he's doing. So, I mean, I think the pay down, especially if you're going to go with the two big pitchers, you got to find some sort of value. So I think, looking at the Murphy, we were talking about another guy too. I think there was like a guy min price. What was it?
Oh yeah, Ben Boom for
Ben
Los
Boom.
Angeles. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So I
Who's
mean,
he's in positive? He's in a positive platoon today, so at 2K
mhm.
playable. He's definitely playable if you want to run both pitchers.
Yep. Yeah, and I think you are going to have to find some value if you're going to run the double pitcher. So I mean, I'm willing to sacrifice there, a Real Muto if I can get a Glasnow, instead. So for me, if you can find the value, I mean, if you can fit in like the Murphy, I mean, it's a good spot, but that's 2,700. You got a guy at $2,000. It's not a guarantee, but all he needs is one hit, and all of a sudden he's going to pay himself off.
Agree. Dom Nunez is another one, but actually, I like Nunez 3-7. If he was down to 3, I would he would be a lock. All 4 of his home runs have come in cores. Uh, Actually, get this out. You got Velasquez pitching for Philadelphia in cores.
Mm-hmm.
So this is if I'm taking any team from this core games, it's gonna be on the Colorado. It's gonna be on the Colorado side because of Velasquez. I mean, Velasquez he's struggled now the last couple of years. He's come out of the bullpen the last 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and he struggled his command all 3 games. He's going to strike you out. He's going to get his strikeouts. He gets the batters to chase that four seamer, but also he's going to get hit, and he gets pounded by both sides of the plate now. So if anything, I'm going to be rolling up on Rockies tonight more than Phillies. Yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing I did notice, I saw somewhere else that I guess we'll get into that. We talked about Brad Miller at first base. So Nunez is
Mm-hmm.
in play,
Yep.
and JT is your pay up if you go cheap at pitcher, and definitely a good spot. And then Murphy, Nunez, and Ben Boom, the really cheap guys we're talking about.
Yep.
All right, first base. Moving along to first base. Looking at cash first. Uh, Looking ownership. There's really nobody that's jumping on ownership. Everything is below 15%. It looks like. So right away early this morning, I was over Matt Olson. Olson is totally crushing the ball right now. He's 7-game hit streak, 5 homers in that streak. Crushes lefties. I mean righties. Lopez is a righty. And now Oakland, who's on fire right now, is going from that big ass stadium in Oakland now to a hitter's park in Baltimore. So they're probably licking their chops. He's hitting righties at a 481 wool but 381 ISO. So to me, I was all about locking in Olson. But I think if we do run the 2 pitchers, you can probably drop down to like a Matt Moreland. I mean, to a Moreland. I
Mm-hmm.
think Moreland probably more of a cash game than maybe Olson being a GBP type play. Probably. If not, I guess you look at CJ Crone, Colorado. Same. I mean, he's got a reverse platoon, but it's cores. Crone might be the chalky one. What's the difference in price between Crone and Moreland?
39, 800.
Moreland's more,
No, Moreland's 31.
and
Cron's
Crone.
39.
Okay. So I wouldn't mind going down to Moreland, and Oakland brought Moreland in for games like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to hit against righties. So he gets paid to hit righties. So I like the Moreland call. Freeman, Freeman's your pay ups too. He's 6'2" though. I think it's the highest I've ever seen Freeman. He's gonna get going. I'm not worried about Freddie Freeman right now. I just he's too good of a player. He's gonna get going. So the other
Yeah.
guys that is probably like a Brad Miller, who's really cheap in Philadelphia. Come off a 4 for 5 game. Can you
Yeah.
go all the way down to Miller? What's Miller? 3K?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to go, if you want part of that, stack in, Colorado, then you would go Miller, and, but for 100 more. It's Moreland. I mean, so you can definitely go down there. I like the Olsen call. I don't think Freddie Freeman's ready at 6,200. That's just way too much to pay for a guy. I mean, he's just not hitting well enough for him to be valued at 6,200. So, I'm clearly looking lower. I like the Cron call too at 3,900, but that's like kind of that's a tough price to get to. At a price point if you're going to try to get the two pitchers in there. I don't even know if we can fit it. So you got to look a little bit lower. I mean, we do have a line that we had Olsen in there as well. So I mean, it is doable, and then you're just going to find some serious value that you're going to have to fit in there. So kind of depends on how you want to construct your lineup.
And there is enough value we can get it.
Yep.
As we go on, Rice people are going to ask about Hoskins. To me, he's more of a GPP play today. He can definitely lose one out there in quarters. He has struggled though. You look at his career numbers against righties. He struggled. And Marquez is a good righty pitcher. So to me, Hoskins is a GPP only.
Mm-hmm.
One other guy not to sleep on is Pete Alonso. Fetty is a reverse splits pitcher, reverse splits power pitcher. Alonso could lose one too. He's locked in. So I like Alonso for GPPs. Punts, another name I just saw, the kid for Cincinnati. Alex Blandino, I think he's batting fifth. He's 2K. So I think he can play third and first. So you got a punt there too, if you want to go all the way down to 2K. I don't know much about Blandino, but when he's batting fifth, I think it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tough for me, though, to take value on a guy that I don't know enough about when I can just take a guy like a Mitch Moreland who's he's a proven major league hitter. So, like, for me, I mean, sometimes it's like, all right, Moreland, he's a professional hitter, this value guy that's going to be in Colorado because he's so cheap, but he's still got to hit the ball, So, I mean, it's really tough sometimes to really, like, just take this value to stack up on this Colorado game. I mean, they do play games that are close sometimes. I mean, they're not all 15, 14 ball games. So, yeah, I mean, I like having parts of that game. I don't think you have to stack an entire lineup of Colorado and Philadelphia. I don't think it's a mandatory thing, which everybody wants to do. That's in their mindset. So, yeah, there's a lot of options. I mean, we definitely got to, push through. We got a whole bunch more to go. And there's some more value, yeah.
Brad Miller is playable because I don't think you have to worry about Miller being pinch hit for. Colorado only has one lefty available in the bullpen tonight, so he's probably gonna stay in the game. Yeah, that would be my worry if I end up playing Miller. I figured Matt Joyce would be leading off today, lefty, but he's not. McCutcheon's leading off, so I was looking at possibly him as a value in the outfield, but he's not playing. So, all right, that's it for first base. Pretty much looking at Moreland, Olsen, or CJ Cron, I guess. That'd probably be the way I would probably pick out of those three for cash.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, there is a guy that's a first base outfielder too, Kirillov, that you could throw at first base. So, he's a min-price guy hitting in the 5-hole also. So if you wanted to load up on a bigger bat in the outfield and you want to put him at first base, you could do that too. So that's another way to look at it.
And Kirillov's going to be in my lineup one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
He's too good. He's a stud. He's the Twins' top hitting prospect. Only 2K, batting fifth. He actually made his debut in the playoffs last year. I forgot he's first place eligible. So, yeah, that's another way to go, too, if you want to get the Kirillov at first and go somewhere else in the outfield. Yeah. Good call there. Second base, man, I'm all over Jed Lowry. He is so underrated. He gets like 2 hits in every single. He's had 2 hits in every game, and 8 of his last 11. To me, I'm playing Jed Lowry's locked in. He's a core player of mine. I'm going to keep picking on Lopez tonight, who struggles against lefties. He's not cheap anymore. He's up to 4.8, but he's my pay up. Anybody else you see as a pay up at second base, like McMahon, who I think is a good spot, or?
Yeah, no, I like the Lowry, especially too away games. Like right now, like he's hitting like 474 on the road right now with 10 home runs, 9 hits, 10 RBIs. I mean, yeah, and Oakland is on fire. So no, I mean, I think like you said it right away. I mean, he's just lock him in. I know he's not high on our chart. I think on a cheat sheet he's only what is he on a cheat sheet like 6%.
I didn't look at ownership cheat sheet.
Yeah, but you've got to fit in all those guys. They're going to be in Colorado. They're obviously going to be higher value. Their prices, their percentage is going to be higher, but You know, some people are going to say Rogue Dador, whatever, but I'm still not a Yankee guy yet. They're just not playing well enough for me, to even look, at that value lane. So, yeah, no, I like the Jed Lowry call.
And you look at our cheat sheet, and pretty much the ownership spread out. It's a free for all.
Yep.
Nobody's over 12%. France is up there. Ty France. If I wasn't playing Lowry, I would be going to Ty France,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to kind of mini stack France and Haniger, but I'd rather probably mini stack like a Lowry Olsen or a Lowry Moreland. But Ty France, man, again, he's going against Martin Perez, a lefty who you can hit around in Fenway. This dude,
Mm-hmm.
he's got a 303 batting average, 12 RBI so far. So France is quietly a real good spot at 3.8. So you can save $1,000 from Lowry. If I was going to do it, I would have gone Ty France, nowhere else. Kiki mid range, I guess Kiki's in play. That's
Yeah,
pretty
but
much it.
Kiki against Darvish, I don't like that. I mean, I'd rather stay away from that.
Um,
I'm sorry, he's in
no, he's
Boston now.
against
Wow, never
Kikuchi.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, never mind.
he's
Yeah,
Kikuchi. You got to get
Kikuchi,
confused there.
Darvish, it's all the same. Yeah.
um, but Ryan McMahon also a couple $100 more than Lowry, and Coors he's in a good spot though. He's got 6 home runs this year. Good matchup against Velasquez, but I'm stuck on Jed Lowry today. Lowry
Mm-hmm.
or France. Anybody else? Let me see. Interesting. No, we need anybody. And people are going to play Odor.
Yep.
He's what, lefty on lefty though, but it's a cheap play. But if I'm gonna go somewhere else if I want that value, like the
Yep.
kid at shortstop or Krylov, something like that. But I know people are going to play him. He's a Yankee. He's a name. Uh, Honestly, I didn't even look to see what he's done in the last few games. I just don't, I'm not interested in him at all. So, but he's going to
Yep.
get some ownership.
Yep.
Third base. Looking at third base first, our ownership spread out again. FanDuel's looking at Bregman, and I figured that DK more of a bone Bregman. So first, Bregman isn't a good spot because he's home. He crushes lefties. He crushes lefties better at home. Price actually dropped. His price dropped, and meanwhile, he's had 5 hits his last 6 at bats. And he's in a kind of a tough spot with Haney, who Haney's the type of guy that's going to strike you out or he could give up a home run. But Bregman's going to be popular at 4.9. I'm probably not playing him. To me, third base is going to be a pay down tonight. Alec Bohm is going to be the chalkier cash play at 3.5, but I don't have much interest in
Mm-hmm.
Bohm either.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's hitting 219 on the year. I mean,
Struggling big time.
yeah. I mean, he's had a couple good games. He had a 16-pointer, but I mean, he's going to be a 4.5, 2.7 kind of guy. So, yeah, and there's no reason to pay that price tag just because he's in Colorado. You can definitely find somebody better for for the same price probably.
And they tried to move. They actually had him betting cleanup the other day. They tried to move around a little bit to mix him up. And he could lose one tonight. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bohm is still. I mean, he's a decent hitter. He had a decent year last year, but he's struggling right now. And I've come to the point now in DFS where I'd rather play these guys that are hot, that have hit in the last few games, than the guy that's 0 for 21 that still has decent, numbers over the last 2 years.
Yep.
So I'm trying to change my strategy a little bit, but nobody's really jumping out on chalk. You feel like you have to play somebody. So this takes us to my sneaky play of the day today, actually. And there's two third bases like we already talked about the Blandino kid, and that Blandino, when we talk about first base, he's had 3 hits in his last 4 at bats. So he's obviously seen it all. Is the Todd father? I like Todd Frazier a lot today, um, especially because he's going against the lefty. There's only one reason he's still in the league right now is because he can go deep on left-handers, and nobody
Mm-hmm.
can convince me that he can't hit J.A. Happ. So, what do you think
Yeah.
about Todd Frazier?
Yeah, I mean, he just got off. He just started. He came back yesterday. I think it was his first game back too. So I mean, I think he's.
I surprised me. I saw him in the lineup. I said, "What the hell's Todd?" I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I guess he was on the alternate site.
yeah. So he's back up there. I mean, so yeah, he's trying to end out his career. On a good run here a little bit. He's definitely a mentor for that team. I mean, he's actually got pretty good numbers against him too. I mean, he's 6 for 18 with 2 homers against him in his career. Just looking at his BVP against him. So I mean,
You go.
yeah, he's 2,700. He's cheap. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I saw another GPP guy. I saw too, just like throwing it out there. Kyle Seager against Martin Perez has got 4 homers, in his career against him. So that's that's a GPP guy for me. I always call. So I never play GPPs, and I always say like two guys, and they both hit homers every day, and I never play them. So,
Good. That's actually a good call. When you're saying that, another name popped up to me too when you said Seager. Gio Urshela,
mm-hmm.
Scott Drina's asset. Urshela to me is a more GPP play. Every Yankee you know is a GPP play. Yeah, you can't play any Yankees in cash, but he's in the middle of that order. Um, Yankees are going to go off one of these days, and they are in a
Yep.
good spot. They are in a good spot tonight. I would actually look at them as a more of a stack tonight in these 14 games. But still, I'm not messing with any Yankees in cash. I'm kind of over that. So, um, GBP, who is man? I just drew a blank. Devers is a GPP play. You can still play him. Oh, Jan Moncada. I like Moncada tonight. More of a
Mm-hmm.
GPP. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would play Moncada in cash, but anytime he's going up against a righty, he's a switch hitter. I bet in third today against Dunning. I just like that spot he's in, the 4 or 5. I just don't think we could fit him. I'm all over Todd Father today, but I may think I'm crazy, but it's my sneaky pick, and I'm going to stand by it. If I didn't go Frazier, I'd probably go out on Blandino. I don't think you need to pay up at third base today. There's really nobody you have to play there. I don't have a mid-range play in my top plays article.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, McMahon you can use at third. I think McMahon's in a good spot. I keep forgetting he's also at third, but go down. And I would play Urshela if I had to down to cheap. He's cheap, so that's a good question. So to me, he's more GBP though.
Yep.
Shortstop, I am. Oh, also Wyatt Matheson's 2-8 Arizona. Played him last week and he actually won us some money. So you can put the Matheson there, also third base. Shortstop, man, I am all over Trevor Story today. I just think because he's going against it's a reverse platoon, but he's going against Velasquez. He can handle him. He's missed out on like 4 home runs this year that are close. Story's losing one today.
I like it. Yeah, and he hits good at home. So I mean, that's that's your Rocky guy if you want him. I mean, I think he's a good fit. You definitely have to have some part of that you know that lineup somewhere in your cash lineup. So I think
Yeah,
he's a 3-4 hitter. I mean, like you said, it's starting to warm up there a little bit now. So the ball's going to start flying a little bit better. So yeah, he's probably the play. I mean, for cash, I mean, I think he'll probably be like 60% owned. I bet. Or people are going to go short 2K.
agree. Yep. I let he's my play. I mean, I'm not afraid. I wouldn't be afraid to go back to Lindor today. I think Lindor is actually in. He let us down last night. He's probably going against actually what I just said about guys that aren't hitting, but he's going against Fetty. A lot of people don't know if Fetty's a good steal matchup. If Lindor gets on base, Lindor can steal 2 bases today.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wasn't going Story, I'd probably go Lindor, or I would. Originally, Suarez was actually my top pick against Suarez against a bad lefty. He's always a good spot. Um, he's a great. Probably the only, well, besides Blandino, probably the only red I like. But what Story? What do we have for Story? What's his price? I mean,
He's,
that Story, Suarez.
mm,
See that much different than Lindor?
he's not even on us. He's not even on the
4-6.
sheet.
He's 4-6.
Yeah. So you're saving 500. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
it's Story. To me, it's all a Story. But I do like Suarez. So I'm making 2 lineups. He would probably be my second one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it comes down to one of my other favorite punts. I'm not sure if I'm going to need him in cash. Is this kid Zach Short for Detroit? He's batting second. Batting second against a lefty minor. 2K. There's a bunch of 2K guys today. So it's like they gave us a gift today with all these pitchers. It's almost like DK gave us a gift today. So I would originally had Zach Short in my lineup until I saw the Kirilloff pop up and some of these other guys. But hey, anytime you got a kid batting second, he's in the pot. He's got the positive platoon. He's a righty. Mike Minor's a lefty. So I'd have no problem on this short kid. I don't know much. I don't know much about him, but
Well, he's 0 for 1 with 2 walks in his career in the major leagues. So,
and 2K. I don't think I'm just looking at his picture. He doesn't look like a power hitter. He looks like he's about 130 pounds soaking wet. But 2K, you can get a lot with a guy batting second at 2K. So
yeah.
that's where value like this pops up, and you get guys like this where you can get them so cheap. and all they need is a walk and a hit or something, and they pay out value.
Yeah.
Okay, outfield. This is where we're gonna get gets a little dicey. Let's see what ownership says. One
Tapia
good
is
thing
going to
about
be up there.
one good thing I like about tonight is nobody is running away with ownership where you have to worry about playing somebody if you don't like to play. There isn't really anybody right now. Tom Murphy I think is gonna be the highest owned for what I'm seeing on the cheat sheet, the catcher. So, but now I'll go to the outfield. Tapia's popular guys are going to be Tapia, Colorado at 3K. Harper, who I like, 5.7. McCutcheon, 18%. These guys are all, they said nobody's running away with it. Kirilloff, Haniger, Stanton, Newt, Acuna coming back tonight. Like he's in a good spot. And I said Kirilloff. So, first, Charlie Blackmon. Do we need to play Charlie Blackmon?
I mean, yeah, I think yeah, we were talking about that before. I mean, he's another guy. I mean, he's a professional hitter that's, another guy that hits well at home. I mean, it's a bad team, but I mean, they play well at home. I like Tapia just because he's in the leadoff, and I think Trevor Story can bang a ball into the gap and score him easy, and he's a steal threat too. I mean, I have no problem with Blackmon. I mean, I just kind of flipped around. I actually just put Tapia in my lineup. I'm trying to figure out how he can fit Bryce Harper in there too, and I think I might have just done it, but
Yeah, I think it's workable.
yeah, it's just I don't know if you need to have Blackmon and Tapia or one or the. I think you can have one or the other. I mean, it's kind of up to you. I mean, you want a guy in a leadoff spot, who's
Well,
Tapia. I mean,
that's also a discussion because you got the kid batting who's actually been hitting well. The kid batting sixth for Colorado, who's only 2.7. That Jonathan Daza
mm-hmm.
against Velasquez. So he's part of the conversation too. If you need a couple $100 more, but man, I'm looking at ownership right now. The projections on Blackmon are only 11% DK, 9% FanDuel. Here's a dude we've been following. We've been playing Charlie Blackmon for years. Cleanup hitter, in Coors, positive platoon against a gas can at 4.5. Why wouldn't you play Charlie Blackmon to me?
Yeah,
To me, Charlie Blackmon's a near must core. To me, he's a near must core lock play in course. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, he's been starting slow, but you got to remember too, he's been playing in course in 35-degree weather. I mean, so finally we get a night tonight where what's the weather? What's it in? It's 50 degrees in Colorado. To him, it's going to be like a heat wave right now. So I'm all over Blackmon against Velasquez. So, and if you can fit Harper in, Harper's the one Philly. I think if you want to get one Philly in it, it's Harper. Totally on fire right now. You're going to pay for him, but 5 straight double-digit DK games. So that says it all right there.
yep.
Anybody else you like in the outfield beside these Coors guys? I got a couple of them. Is anybody else you like? Do you feel like you playing cash or alternate lineups or?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can move Killer off to first base if I can find the value to try to fit a Harper and a Blackmon and a Tapia possibly right now. So, yeah, the hardest thing, like I'm not on any Yankees whatsoever. Not until those guys figure it out. I'm off of all of them. Mitch Haniger, he's kind of on like
Yep.
he's a hot hitter right now. He's like you said, he's playing in Boston, wind's blowing out 15 miles an hour. He's in a good spot. Um,
I like
I'm
the Haniger call. He's hit a home run again
mm-hmm.
last night.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing else is really jumping. I mean, like you don't have to worry about a Trout tonight. Like I don't think because those guys are going to be so low owned just because of you got the Colorado game, so it's going to make it a little bit easier to not have to look for these big names. But yeah, I mean, I think we kind of hit the guys that we liked. I mean, there's nobody else. The Arizona guys are going to probably pop up a little bit
Yeah,
here and there. Like
Calhoun probably popular 2.9 or whatever.
yeah,
Uh, I got three guys I like Dylan Carlson. I think is batting second tonight. I'm a huge Dylan Carlson. Yeah, batting second against Sonny Gray at only 2.8. Carlson's already shown he can hit righties.
mm-hmm.
Switch hitter. I love Dylan Carlson. Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds right now is like the third hottest outfield in the last 7 days. He's got hits in 5 of his last 6 games. I just love these Pittsburgh guys for value. He's been straight money against lefties against Hap. I mean, and just said Hap is nothing. You can hit around Hap. He's got a 556 WOBA with 333 ISO this season against lefties. So Brian Reynolds, I would put Brian Reynolds in my main lineup. No problem with that at all. He can get you 9 points. And the last one is J-Up. We know when Justin Upton goes on these hot streaks, he's going to hit for 4 or 5 games. He's on a hot streak right now. So he's got hits in 5 straight. And he's got to be. Also, he hits. He's Greinke. He's going against Greinke tonight. It's Greinke.
Greinke's got bad numbers against the Angels overall. Like they're
I saw that.
321 overall against them. Yeah, like that's a good GPP stack would be take some of those Angels, get a Hante in there, Trout, and then you're off of all these Rockies guys that if they go off, I mean you're gonna double over everybody in that GPP. Even Albert Pujols, he's probably dirt cheap still.
Pujols has got a 6 for 14. No, 14 for 43 with a homer, 4 ribbies, 8 runs against Greinke. So, I mean, some of these guys go back years. They've been playing each other for, especially Pujols and Greinke. But I like the Upton call. So I like Carlson. I like Saza. I love Brian Reynolds. So any of those guys are in play. Let's see if I'm missing anybody in cash. Kyle Lewis at 3-2. We said Cole Calhoun, 2-9 is a good spot.
Yeah, but
I think Conforto is gonna see ownership. I don't play Conforto anymore, but he's gonna at 3-6.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take Tapia at 3,000 instead of Kyle Lewis at 3,200 in Colorado. So for me, personally, but
and you're getting on the guy in the 6th spot too. That whatever's
And then McCutcheon's in there too. I know because he's in a leadoff spot. In Colorado, I know he's got 18% ownership. So he's like a value guy. I mean, but that's kind of a lot for a value, 3,900, where there are cheaper guys or, so he's definitely in play. I mean, McCutcheon's, he's a kind of a freak. So, if he decides to hit 3 homers, he's going to hit 3 homers.
And I don't play McCutcheon enough, and I just don't.
Yeah, he's not the same player that he used to be.
He's not young anymore, I guess, right?
Yeah, he blew his knee out. He's had so many injuries, so.
Since we've been on, let me see. The Dodgers lineup came out. Nothing different. Besides Edwin Rehos is batting 5th. Raley's in right field, batting 7th. Barnes is catching. Snow Will Smith. So Betziger, Turner, Muncy, Rios, Pollock, Raley, Barnes, Kershaw. That just came out. Blue Jays came out when we were just getting on. Nothing different than Rowdy's batting cleanup. Nothing different there. We're going against Glasnow, though, so we're not really worried about their offense.
No Trout. Trout's not playing.
Scratch. That's right. So, all right. I think that's it. Any questions before I run over a couple of prize picks quick? Anybody questions on lineups? So it looks like we have enough value to go Glasnow and DeGrom. If not, I would say go DeGrom with Alan Carter. To me, Alcantara. For Miami. I like the kid. I think he's a good spot. Everything else is GPP.
Yep.
Let me pull up price picks. On my write-up, which just came out, I actually had a couple of pictures in there. I have DeGrom over 10 Ks. I got Glasnow over 42 points. It's code YFC. If anybody's new to price picks. Let me see anybody else here that's... I like J Ram. We didn't bring up J Ram for Cleveland. I like Ramirez today, a GPP spot. Forgot going against Montgomery. Montgomery doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. Every time I don't play J Ram, he hits a homer. So
that's what happens to me every time.
Yeah, he's on my
CJ
list.
Crone's a 7. Take it over on Crone. Beside the other two I just threw out there, there's not that many. I would really. They're tight tonight in some of these calls. Acuna's 9.5. That's kind of high. I'm not sure I mess around with that coming back. I could see Story 8.5, maybe an over in that. I'd probably just stick with the pitchers today. I would go DeGrom over 10 Ks, and I like the Glasnow over 42 points. That's the way I would be leaning on price picks.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's it. We have a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes before lock. No other news we got. I think we're out of here, guys. Thank you. We do have a show tomorrow morning. It'll be out on Twitter, and that's it. Let's make some money today. Let's start a good weekend off here. Corey, thank you. Thank you to producer Mickey. We're out of here.
Good luck, guys.